In section 1b, we're looking at 3 equivalent ways to express a proportion. They're all the same number, they're just three different ways to express it. The most basic is the fraction, where we look at the amount over the total. To get to the decimal, we just, instead of just writing as a fraction, we use that fraction bar and actually divide. And the final one is the percent, where we convert that decimal to a percent by multiplying by 100. Let's look at an example of this. Okay. So the health clinic has seen 326 people in the last month. 41 of them had the flu. So the amount is the 41. So I write 41 in the numerator. And then the total number of people, that's the 326. So I write 326 down here. So my fraction to represent the proportion of people of patients that had the flu at the health clinic is 41 over 326. Now, our question may ask us to express that as a decimal. So to do that, we just are going to convert that by, instead of doing the fraction bar, we're actually going to divide. So that's going to be 41 divided by 326. And I am going to use my calculator for that one. So I do 41 divided by 326, and then equals, and I get my decimal. Now this decimal is a little tricky because where do we round it? Let's say we want to run to the thousands place. That's 3 decimal places. So looking at here, I see the 7 after the 5 tells me I'm going to round up. So I'm going to round this up to 0.126. Okay, so that's my decimal rounded to the nearest thousands place. And then the final possible way to express the proportion is as a percent. Again, is this equivalent to the decimal? Same number, but we're going to do it with a percent sign. So if we want to use that percent sign, that means we got to take that decimal amount and multiply it by 100. So I rounded my decimal, so I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to enter in what we rounded here. And I multiply that by 100. And I get 12.6. And that is the percent of the patients that had the flu. Notice that your percent is going to be a much bigger number because it's a percent. It's out of 100. And your decimal is going to be much smaller. Okay, so let's just review what we did here. So first, to find the fraction, we take the amount of people that had the flu over the total number of people. That's 41 over 326. Then converting that to a decimal. We just divided the 41 divided by 326, and we got 0.125766687, but we just wanted to round that to 3 significant digits. So that's our thousands place. So that means we looked at this 7. If 7, so I want to round to the 3 digits, which means I look at the 4th digit. If the 4th digit is 5 or greater, I'm going to round up. If it's 4 or less, then I round down. It's 7, that's 5 or greater, so I'm going to round up. So instead of writing 0.125 5, I write 0.126. I round up because the next digit would have been a 7. All right, and then the last step to get the percent, just multiplied that by 100 and we got 12.6. You may also remember the trick of moving over the decimal. Simply multiplying by 100 avoids the error of moving the decimal the wrong direction. So that's a little shortcut.